against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you for this Monday night, Tuesday afternoon here with all of you? I told you Mondays are a busy day, and Ping was right. It's another busy Monday. This just came out in the Daily Mail, and I want to talk about it very briefly before we get into some other stuff. That's a photo of Gus Lamont here. And Gus's parents have put out a statement, but I don't know, Ray. It really it just doesn't sit right with me. So they put out this statement on there's a photo of Gus Lamont on a little bike trotting around the land that his family owns. So they talk about here in this statement they put out, we are united in our grief, and we are united in our search for answers about what happened to our little boy Gus, who means everything to us. Our lives have been shattered, and every moment without him is unbearable. We know someone out there may have information. If someone knows what happened, we are pleading with that person or anyone who may have seen or heard anything to please come forward. Even the smallest detail could give us the answers we so desperately need. And then they go on to thank a raft of emergency services, police, ADF personnel, volunteers, and specialists. And they say, they're very thankful for their help. And then they go on to thank friends and family and supporters who have shown compassion, concern, and assistance during this heartbreaking time. But if you go off what the police have told us, big press conference like a few weeks ago, and they told us there's a person of interest, and it's a family member. If you want answers so badly, why are you not harassing the family member whose apparent statements to police don't line up? I don't understand this whole public appeal for information. Who exactly is going to tell you anything on a property that's, larger than some towns where no one can get to, no one can get on it. It's literally larger than a lot of suburbs are. And you're asking for people who might have seen something. Seen what exactly? Because it's not like everyone's walking around with a pair of high-powered binoculars and looking into your property. So it comes across as I understand they wanted to put out a statement about their grief and the things they've gone through. Yes, that is I get it. But I don't get the whole if somebody saw something, call us. The cops are telling us a completely different story that it seems like somebody close to your son may be involved in the reason why he is not here now. So why don't you all hash it out as a family and then come back to us? Because it seems like they're skipping a step. And I could tell you that if my father was the one who was, under suspicion for killing my son, I'd probably kill him. Before I ever put out a public appeal for information, I probably would have beat the living daylights out of him to get the information. So I'm confused at the statement they put out. I get the whole heartfelt thing, and yes, it must be a lot of grief. Yes, I agree with that. That is true. It must be very difficult. I understand the whole thanking emergency services and the authorities who come and help. Yeah, that's a very difficult search, and they deserve a lot of thank yous. That is true. but I don't understand the public appeal for information. Exactly what exactly would you like us to tell you? I'm so confused by that. Cops told you they searched that entire area with like the highest powered aeroplane that had photography equipment on it that they've ever used before in the history of South Australian police. They've never used that technology before, but they have to look for your son. And they were able to get it down to such a minute detail that the software could tell between a dead kangaroo and a kangaroo that was alive over hundreds of square kilometers. And I just don't get it. Montana said maybe it boils down to keeping the property in the family and not causing a split. I mean, maybe I don't know, but it just comes across as odd, very strange. Um, there he goes. What a cute little boy. You know, they say all we want is to bring Gus home and understand what happened to our little boy. Well, start talking to the people that are in your family. And if you like the cops are coming out and telling us that no one could get on the property. There's gates that are locked, multiple gates that you can't get through. I don't know what you want the public to tell you. I don't understand what you want from us. Do you want us to just tell you made up things that, a boogeyman in the middle of the night came down and took your child? Because it doesn't seem like that's the type of case we're talking about. It seems like we're talking about a story that is as old as time, a story where someone close to the child has, no one's saying that the child was deliberately hurt. No one's saying that. It could have been accidental death. They freaked out and they've hidden the body. They'd be very believable. If someone told me that's exactly how this all ended, I'd believe you. So, Anna said they wanted the public to stay away at first. Now, 4 months later, they cry for help. It's very strange. Yeah, it is. I'm confused by it too. I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Thought there was any ads running. Is it back again? I don't know why it's back. I don't know what's causing it. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's causing it. We thought we fixed it, and they're back. They're back. Don't know why. Lisbeth said they either know something or they don't, or they are not making any sense. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'd all like for Gus to be found. I don't think anyone at all would be like, yeah, I don't want to find the kid. I think everyone wants to find Gus and return him to his parents and most likely put him to rest and give him the burial that he deserves. But the investigation into it is so weird. And it's almost like why speak out now? You could have spoken out months ago, like when Gus first went missing. Why now? Only after a family member has been not implicated, but is considered a person of interest. Why now? Why not talk when, like, you know what they say, when someone goes missing, those first couple of days are the most important. Why not talk then? When that was like the most critical time to try and find the little boy. I don't know, guys. Maybe we'll find out at some point. But what a cute little guy, very cute little kid. Maybe we'll all find out together at some point. But I do feel for his parents. It must be a complete mental breakdown to one day have a child and the next day that kid is gone and you can't explain it. It must be completely mentally debilitating. So I feel for them. I don't know. I feel like why not take the cops' advice and look for information from your own family? You know, if that's the direction the cops are pointing the finger, then shouldn't you, as the child's parents, follow that direction and try and help? Talk to your talk to your parents, talk to your both of your mothers, talk to both of them. Try and figure out why their timelines don't match up to the rest of the family. Try and find out why the cops are looking in that direction. Gayla said, I've been on the stream since before you started, but still just had a thumbnail on screen and didn't understand what the chat was saying about Gus. Yeah, sometimes you have to refresh it. Sometimes you have to refresh the show. So that is just a weird update about him. No real information, just a sort of I don't know, a post and information from the parents. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. Um, I don't know if anyone's been watching the Corey Richens trial. I have. I've been spending all day watching the trial coverage for it. Very interesting, and I think it's going to be a very fireworks type of trial. Even today on day one, there was a lot of argy-bargy in the trial. A lot of a lot of sort of like pushing back on people, and you know, you can already see people getting a little bit uh, angry and concerned about questions they're being asked, and it's it is looks like it's going to be quite a good trial. Linux said, I watched a little bit of Corey Richens. Yeah, it is very interesting. And it's you can see just by the witnesses that they had today, there is a very sort of uh us against her mentality. And I'm sure that of course that would be the case, but it's really obvious. It's really super obvious that everyone has banded together against Corey. Corey, everyone has banded together against her. Like they are united. They are not taking any BS from her defense lawyer, from her, from anyone. I think it's going to get a lot more heated as we go through. Kelly said, did you see the update on the missing girl that was found in Arizona we were talking about last night? Figure out how the girl. We'll have a look at it in a little bit. We'll have a look. Rachel said the trial is going to be lots of crazy, lots of new info we didn't know before. Yeah, I think it's going to be a spectacular type of trial. It's not going to be one of those boring ones. It's going to be quite intense, I think. All right. By the way, I don't have anything on Corey really today. I just watched the same thing you guys did. So I really don't have anything to add today, but maybe tomorrow. Let me check this. All right. But the big story that I want to talk to you about today is they have found Chris Baghsarian. They believe it is him, and they this morning recovered human remains not too far from where they were searching yesterday. Not that close either, but not too far away. But that sort of brings to the end the hunt to try and bring Chris Baghsarian home. He will not come home alive. I had a feeling he was not alive, and the cops knew he was not alive. I believe something in that home triggered the authorities to know that he was no longer alive. Searching for another house where he might be. They just went in straight to bushland. Yeah, I'm going to take you out to a press conference with the New South Wales Police, and this is after they found those human remains this morning. Yeah, let me take you out to it. It's not very long. It's a pretty quick one today.
I'd like to say this is not a normal process that we would go through in a case like this, but I understand the media and the public interest. This morning, police attached to the Robbery and Serious Crime Squad located human remains on the street of Pitt Town Bottom Road. in Pitt Town. We suspect those remains to be Mr. Baghsarian. Although the remains aren't able to be positive. This, but I understand the media and the public interest. This morning, police attached to the Robbery and Serious Crime Squad located human remains on the street of Pitt Town Bottom Road in Pitt Town. We suspect those remains to be Mr. Baghsarian. Although the remains aren't able to be positively identified, and there'll be a formal process to try and identify those remains. There will be forensic examination of the remains, and we will attempt to identify Mr. Baghsarian, if it is in fact him, as soon as possible. I want to be clear from the outset that we had two trials in this investigation. One was to locate Mr. Baghsarian, and the second was to identify those responsible. At this stage, I'm not able to comment in relation to the investigation and the progress of the investigation. It is still an active investigation, and we have police working around the clock. We have police from the Robbery and Serious Crime Squad, assisted by other squads within State Crime Command, and also greatly assisted by Northwest Region investigators. I've spoken to the family of Mr. Baghsarian, and as you can understand, they are deeply upset. They have requested that you respect their privacy in this time. They've also requested that you be aware of your reporting of this matter in relation to releasing the sensitive footage that we've all know that's out there at the moment. I'd ask that you respect their wishes. Further to that, and back onto the crime scene that you are aware of on Pitt Town Road bottom.
They need a better internet connection. Their live stream's like really choppy, really choppy. I'll leave it there. They're not going to go through too much more. The footage that he's talking about is that there is some footage that was sent. So get this. They kidnapped Chris Baghsarian, and they're like, "We got the guy. We're gonna get our ransom or whatever they wanted." So they message the guy they want to upset, not the guy they wanted to abduct, the guy they wanted to get the money from, or the guy that they were targeting, and were gonna make him pay. So they start messaging him, sending him photos and videos of Chris Baghsarian being tortured and hurt and bleeding. The guy has no relation to Chris Baghsarian. So they're like sending all these mean-spirited messages and all these photos. And the guy's like, I don't know who that is. And they're the videos that he's talking about. There's a few that have been put out. And that's how dumb these people were. They abducted the guy, thought they had it in the bag, and they got the wrong guy, and they were just sort of talking to the other victim, going, "Oh, we got him, give us our money or whatever," and it was the completely wrong dude. So what do? They kill him and dump him. I don't understand why. You kill a guy that you abducted that has nothing to do with your organized crime. Oh, that'll show people. Don't upset us. We'll go and abduct some guy you've never heard of. We talk about dumb criminals. These guys might be dumb criminals, really. There is a guy here. Let me grab it for you. There is a family. It's the Alameddine family. This is the guy here that they actually wanted to target, Dimitri. So this is who they were trying to target. And that, yeah, basically they abducted Chris to try and piss him off and had no relation to him. So apparently that guy, Dimitri, his family used to live in that street. That's what it was. They used to live in that area. Yeah, so they say detectives believe Chris Baghsarian kidnappers were instead targeting a relative of Dimitri's, and Dimitri is a convicted armed robber and founder of Proper Streetwear who lives near the 85-year-old. So not the right guy. And yeah, let me see if I can find the examples of the text messages. I'm sure we can. I think it's just frightening to be like, hey, we got the guy. Let me see. I'm sure we can find the right ones. Okay. I think it might be this video here. All right, let's go here.
Good evening. 10 long days after he was mistakenly kidnapped by members of Sydney's ruthless underworld, police have now raised serious doubts that North Ryde grandfather Chris Baghsarian has survived.
They are now searching thick scrub at Glenorrey on Sydney's northern fringe using dogs that are trained to find human remains.
On the side of a semi-rural road, evidence of a potential crime. After a tip-off from the public, police have reason to believe Chris Baghsarian was brought here.
We're searching for Mr. Baghsarian.
Police honed in on Glenorrey late yesterday following reports a car connected to the crime was seen a day after the 85-year-old's kidnapping.
I said, is it about a missing person? And the policeman said, yeah, it's about the old man.
But what happened here in Glenorrey isn't clear, and after more than 24 hours of searching, still no sign of the missing grandfather.
We'll search, that area will grow until we find something of interest.
Chris Baghsarian was snatched from his North Ryde home on Friday the 13th. The getaway car set alight in North Turramurra, swapped for a stolen Toyota Corolla. That car was tracked to Dural, where Mr. Baghsarian had been taken and tortured. The following day, it was spotted in Glenorrey, then dumped in Westmead, where it sat for 2 days before being torched.
And we're able to establish some forensic links from items inside that car that we can link back to Dural, the property in Dural, and also to Mr. Baghsarian.
It's now been 10 days since Chris Baghsarian was abducted, but police are refusing to admit they're searching for a body. What they will say is that hopes of finding the grandfather alive are fake. News understands that a video of the elderly man bound and gagged was sent to convicted armed robber Dimitri Stepanian, along with a ransom for $50 million. Now, when he didn't recognise the person in the video, he passed the information to his lawyer, who has then contacted police. Now, the Stepanian family do live very close by to Mr. Baghsarian, but why they would be targeted by a kidnap crew is not clear.
Clementine Cuneo, thank you.
So, yeah, Mr. Stupanian, he is a bit Stupanian. That's who they were trying to target. Why they ended up taking this guy, why they felt the need to kill him, don't know. But cops were pretty close yesterday. They were just sort of on the wrong side. They were on one side, found a little bit of evidence, but the body was on like the opposite side of the area where they were yesterday. I do have a, yeah. It's interesting. There was a, this might be it. Yeah, this is it here. So this photo was around this morning from Channel 9. If you look very closely, you can see something there. This is what it looked like later on in later reporting. Here, I'll show it to you. So someone took that very early on before cops could do this. So later on, it looked like that. And you can, if you look closely, you probably tell why they end up putting up the black plastic, but that is where they located Chris Baghsarian. Now, in that other photo I just showed you, I don't know if he looks like he has any clothes on. It looks like to me like it's hard to tell. It's a little blurry, maybe on purpose, but it almost looks like he is naked. Like they stripped him naked, maybe. Yeah, it's why would you do that to an 85-year-old man? Gail said he wasn't any use to them. Maybe he could ID them, or he could have had a heart attack. If you chop off someone's finger while they're alive, yeah, it might give them a heart attack, especially at 85. I mean, they literally just used a pair of bolt cutters and cut off his finger. So, what a sad end to Mr. Baghsarian. Um, to get to that point in your life, and this is how you end up under a police tent in a field. I don't think anyone in his life would have figured out that their dad and grandfather was going to end up like that. It's they need to. So what do they need to do now? They need to find the guys who did this, and they will. They will. They may not be able to do it today. They may not be able to do it tomorrow, but the New South Wales Police have a pretty good track record of eventually tracking these people down. And I'm guessing they're probably looking at flight records out of Sydney, because a lot of these guys will do this and then try and jump on a plane to Turkey, to Greece, to the Middle East somewhere. So that is probably what they're looking at right now. Gail said if that video was him being tortured, it looked like he had no bottoms on. Yeah, and that image under the tent, I guess it's not very graphic. I can show it to you. It looks like very skin colored. So you're seeing what looks to be very skin colored. I would think that it looks like he was probably naked. They also didn't say whether they found a full set of human remains. They didn't say. So don't know if it is the entire body. One of the quotes that came out this afternoon was that the remains that they found could not be positively identified. And I don't know if it's because of the state of the remains, because of how long he has been out there, or because of what they had done to him. Yeah. So I don't know if they've dismembered him or something, which is horrific. Or it's because he's been out there for a period of time. Tracy said, evening, everyone. This is so sad. What a senseless killing. I agree. Yeah, it did look like he had no clothes, which what a indignant, very like, no dignity, even in death of an 85-year-old man. They stripped away every last ounce of his dignity. And that is really horrible, really horrible. I'm guessing this guy, Mr. Stupanian, which is a perfect last name for him, I think he may have a clue of why there might be a kidnap crew trying to kidnap either him or someone related to him. I have a feeling that he knows exactly why he might be being targeted. So maybe cops will find out. You know what he did? He got these messages and the video from the kidnappers, and he gave it to his lawyer. Why not just give it to the cops? Are you that afraid of them that you can't pass on something like that to the police? You're like, "Oh, I'll give it to my lawyer." Like, imagine the delay in that. It's a case where an 85-year-old, even through, inadvertently, it's because of you that old man is dead inadvertently because of you. And what you did was delay the cops getting that information because you're scared of the cops. And you're like, I'll give it to my lawyer so they don't charge me with a crime. They're not going to charge you with a crime. So, yeah. Forson's mom says the clothes must not be anywhere near either, or they'd be able to ID. Maybe they found them back at the Dural house. Maybe that's why they knew he wasn't alive. Susan said, of course he doesn't. He's a criminal too. That is true. Gail said he either needs to dob or get somebody else to dob people in. He's a coward that thinks he's nothing to do with it. That old man, whether he likes it or not, whether he thinks he had anything to do with it or not, there was obviously a group of people targeting you, and in some roundabout way, that 85-year-old man is now dead because of you. I don't know what happened for you to end up on a kidnap, contract, but you are. So, Betsy said, how could they confuse the two? They weren't trying to kidnap this guy. They were trying to pressure this guy. The person they were trying to kidnap was a relative of his, not him. They were just trying to pressurize him for some reason. Why or for what reason? We don't know. Forson's mom says, what does dob mean? Dob means to tattletale. So in Australia, you would be called a dobber, but in America, when you're a kid, you would be called a tattletale. There you go. So now you can apply it to what we just said. So very sad ending to this for Chris. I mean, to end up in some random field. I'm guessing the last moments of this guy's life was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I got to think it would have been the most scary moments of his life. All right, let's have a look. I just want to see if we've got another thing here. There was yeah, so this is the area where they found him. There's a golf course nearby, and they sort of found him across from the golf course. There's the golf course there. It looks a little greener than it does on the Google Maps, but this is sort of the area that they found him. I think I have a better image. Hold on. Yep, there we go. There you go. So there's the tent that we saw, and you could see how they could get in here. They go down this road, they just duck off into here, dump the body, and get out of here again. And at night, there's probably no one around here. It's probably a very, very quiet area at the back of a golf course. Like, there's probably no one there. So they picked a pretty good spot. Lisbeth said he knows exactly who did it. By talking to his lawyer, he protected himself by confidentiality. That's true. Betsy said, beyond sad, I could cry for his family. Yeah, it's not right. It's these gangsters or whatever used to have a code, or they used to have some ethics about them. They don't anymore. And now you get 85-year-old men being abducted to settle disputes or whatever. It's really, really gross. Here's the other map for it. So there's Pitt Town. Pitt Town is not sure, a Bantams Road. And there, so you can get into here. There's probably another way you can get through on this gravel road as well. So they may have actually come from the other way, come through, dumped him, and then hopped on that road and got out of there. I would have to have a look. What is it? Pitt Town Bottoms Road, Bantams Road. Pitt Town. Oh, it's Bottoms Road, not Bantam Road. I actually thought I had the correct name. I did not. Yeah, let me see if I can find where we're going. We're going down near the golf course. It's got to be down here. Okay, down there. So here's where they found the body, right here. And if we zoom out, there's the golf course right there. Can you get anywhere from this dirt road? Not really. It is a dead end. Unless you want to go on the golf course, you cannot get through there. It is just a dead end. So yeah, looks like they got in here somehow, dumped his body, and then took off. And if you look out here, like there's just farms and turf and things. There's nothing out here. So I'm guessing at nighttime, yeah, it's probably pretty quiet. Look at that, it's just farmland. And then you get down to the Hawkesbury River. So it's possible that no one even knew, or if they did say someone when they door knocked said they saw people down here. So at least someone may have helped in identifying or giving information. So yeah, but yeah, what a nondescript, just dumping ground. Like that's actually the word you'd have to use, a dumping ground, because that's the only descriptor of that place. Hey, Sensible Crime, how are you? Betsy said, I suppose there is no way to prosecute anyone either. If they can find the people who did it, yeah, they will. Sensible Crime said, I'm so glad they found his body so his family won't need to wonder what happened. Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay. Gayla said, the fact they plan in advance with the cars and the buildings, but not to do your homework on who you are kidnapping is extra stupid. I know. They're like, we're going to go get a car. We're going to get the one with the cloned plates on it. We're going to find an abandoned building to take our victim, but they take the wrong person. It's like, isn't that the first thing? You have to do your background on your victim. You have to do your reconnaissance. You have to do your homework. You have to go there and like Nancy Guthrie. You guys see that photo today? How they're saying now that he may have been there earlier. They're saying this was from another night. That this particular photo may have been from a previous night before she was abducted. See, this guy did his homework. That's why they haven't found him. That's why they haven't located. He did his homework. There you go. The thing about this photo, though, it's very pixelated. Look, I don't know if you can see, but like I think that's supposed to be a light in the background. But if you look through this photo, it's not like it's really low quality, and even the hands, look, they don't look right. See how the hands don't, like, they almost look like they're deformed or something. And if you look at it, it's almost like, yeah, it's almost like AI made it. They all look a little broken, and even the shoes, look, they all look like they're made out of Play-Doh or something. And even his leg, look, his leg has a break in it. That's very interesting to me. It's almost like, could they only get a few frames of it and they had to use something like AI to fill in the gaps? Because they said that the way they do this, they're getting like tiny bits of the information at the one time. And I was wondering, like, maybe they didn't get the full photo and they could only get like bits and pieces of it. So they use some sort of AI to fill it in, because yeah, it's not right. There's a lot of weird thing. Like, he has no eyes. Look, Where are his eyes? Where's the mouth hole? Where's like the where's the cut for the eyes and the mouth and stuff like that? Even the face, like, it doesn't match the material. Look, the material on the head is not consistent all the way around in this photo, and then it bleeds into his chest area here. And then look at the arms too. They're not, look, his arm changes size as we go down. It's like it's quite wide here, and then his arm comes into a point right here and then comes back out to a thicker sort of dimension. Yeah, I'm not sure what they've done. Look at this. Look at this arm. This arm is made out of Play-Doh as well. Look at that. It's got a bend in it, but like the wrong way of the elbow. It's almost like it's made out of spaghetti. So I'm not sure what they did to get the image, but it's a little fragmented and it's a little strange. It's almost like they only had portions of the image, and yeah, they've used some sort of AI program to like fill in the gaps or something. Yeah. The sheriff says not true. I don't know if I believe anything about the sheriff anymore. Gayla said he still didn't come with paint or tape. That's true. Kelly said exactly, Ping. I thought that when they first released it weeks ago. Slender Man? It is sort of Slender Man, isn't it? Case of place? If that's what they're saying, it could have been. It could have been. Maybe he did do his homework. I just think it's funny. Like, look at the hand. It's almost like it's broken, and his 4 fingers are going in different directions. I would like to know more background on how they achieved, and you can see the background here in the what's supposed to be dark night sky is all very strange patterns. Look, and this is the type of stuff you get in AI. You get all these kind of weird patterns and repetitious type patterns that are not supposed to be there. So I and look at this. The plant just has a random leaf that's just sitting there. It's like random leaf, not attached to anything. Floating leaf. Who is emailing me? Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. People are emailing. Okay. All right. There we go. Anyway, studying the photo earlier today, that's what I came up with anyway. Marylander said, why didn't get to know about the camera? Why didn't he know about the camera in the front? You would have thought he would have brought the duct tape if he did know about the camera, right? Yeah, it's night vision, sure, but where's the other one? Where's the other one? Nancy. So here's the one that we got the other week. And yes, I know they did sharpen it up a little bit, but look at the detail on that. And then look at the one that we just showed you. It's not even a comparison. They're not even the same quality at all. So, night vision doesn't mean it has to be, absolutely rubbish. It just means that it's black and white, might be a little bit funny, but not like the one we just showed you. That is, look at this. Not even the same quality. Look at the pixelation everywhere. So yes, night camera, but the quality is quite poor. Who are you talking about here? The sheriff? Well, we'll have to see. Sensible Crime said someone said he looked like the Zodiac, the serial killer. I don't know. I don't trust anyone who doesn't have any eyes. I mean, I'd be spooked out if a guy came to my door in the middle of the night and didn't have any eyes. I mean, I'd be like, dude, how do you walk around? Like, how do you even see in the nighttime if you don't have any eyes? I mean, that's like a gift. Like, how does that work? You're gonna have to tell me. I'd probably make him sit down and make him a coffee and be like, please tell me about your existence. Walking around with a balaclava on with no eyes. I'd have to, I'd be more interested in that. Um, that's right. He'd reply self-driving car. We'd have a lot more evidence if he took a self-driving car to Nancy Guthrie's home. Look, either way, they've done something to this photo because the quality is just really low. And then, yeah, you see all this kind of repetitious type patterns through what is supposed to be black, like a black night sky. And you see all this type of like, this patterns. That's all the only way I can describe it. This is what you get within AI because it does this. It's trying to fill in the blank and it doesn't know what is there. It doesn't have enough information to put something there. So you get this. Yeah. And then look at this. I wonder if these lights are even there in that order. Wait, do we have the other photo? Because that would be interesting. We do. We have the other photo. That's not a good quality one of it. Let me try and find like a better quality. It's hard to tell, but it doesn't look like what we see on the other photo. That's a really bad quality of that one. There we go. That's better. There's actually more lights. See, there's one there, one there, and one here. On the other photo, it doesn't show that. So there is some discrepancy between the one that we saw before and this one. Truth be told said, are the lights in the background supposed to be the car? No, I don't think so. I think it's a home in the back. Kelly said, my theory was it was the same night and he went to the front door more than once, possibly. Yeah, I don't think they've said any information on like where that image comes from. They've just sort of put it out. But that tells me then if it is the same night, how far away would he go to get the backpack? Was he hiding it? Was it out the front? Where exactly did that come from? I'm just trying to see if they did put out an update about the timeline. I don't think they did. They just, yeah, I think they're just saying before the abduction, but they're not saying when. But an image that the FBI released of the suspect at her front door without a backpack has been captured on her Nest doorbell camera before her abduction. But they're not saying when. Just before. There's the image again, the one that we looked at just before. And what does it say? The image the FBI released of the suspect at her front door without a backpack was captured on a day before the suspected abduction. So not the same night, sometime before. How long before? I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and find out when exactly do they think that was that happened. Kelly said maybe in the back with other person, the backpack and the holster. Yeah, no gun unless it's under his jacket. Kim said, how did he get her out of there without a car? You would think he would have to have had a vehicle. There's like no other way. Gail said, idiot, still didn't bring tape or paint. Yeah, I know. All you needed to defeat the camera was a piece of duct tape, and he didn't bring it. Chipmunk says, I feel for the family, so traumatic. I would be consumed by this. Kim said, that's why I think it's more than one person. It could be. I mean, there's so many people who think that original CCTV video is not the same person. A lot of people think it is two separate people. I'm not sure if I think that, but a lot of people do. All right, let me. Oh, did they? Give me a sec. I got to check something. Okay. Okay. A lot of people think that original footage, if I can get a screenshot of it. Yeah, here. This one. A lot of people think that this is two different people. I don't know. I just think maybe it's different lighting. But there's a group of people on the interwebs that think that these are two different people. And I get why you might think that, because this is more like a gray color and this is more like a whitish gray, but it could just be different light at different times. Kelly said, yeah, that's bizarre. He wasn't more prepared for the camera if he'd been to the home before, right? You would think he would have known everything about it. Hey, Colleen, how are you? Gail said you can get those carts that carry all your stuff at festivals. So he's carrying an 84-year-old woman down the street, like he's carrying a case of beer at a festival. Is that your idea? That he's sort of like running down the street with like a little cart behind him with a subdued 84-year-old woman, and he's just bolting down the street? I mean, maybe. Kelly said it's one person. Okay, the web also thought it was a woman at first. I don't know why people thought it was a woman. I never saw like female when I looked at that photo. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where people thought that this was a woman. I'll tell you though, the Missy Beaver one, or Bevers, that is a female. I will fight you to the death. People go, it's a guy. Nope. It is a female. I will fight you every day for the rest of my life until they find the person and it's a guy. No, I mean, they'll find a woman who is responsible. You guys know that one? If you don't and you like true crime, this is one of the most perplexing cases ever. Just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling that it is still not solved. This one. So this was like over 10 years ago now, and the camera quality of this one was pretty good, but not quite good enough to see any features of the person or anything like that. But this person snuck into this church and ended up killing Missy Bevers, or Bevers, a few hours later. They literally hung around at the church for like hours, just strolling around doing this, waiting for her to rock up, and then they end up killing her. A lot of people reckon this is a guy, but I'm so sure this is a woman. It's just something about the gait of the walk and the way they carry themselves over their feet, like the way they carry their upper body over the feet, just screams female. to me. And I've always thought that since the day I saw this video. Anyway, this is like one of the most enduring mysteries in true crime. Missy's murder still unsolved today. They don't know who this person is. They've never arrested anyone. No one has been charged. And very much like the Nancy Guthrie thing, this sort of video put like the boogeyman syndrome into everyone. Because you imagine how freaky this is? In the middle of the night, someone's creeping around, dressed up like this. I mean, it is freaky. Danny said that's what I thought of too. Kelly said they walk more like a woman. It just screams woman to me. I just, it's something feminine about the way they carry the weight over their feet that guys don't do that and don't walk in that way. You know, it's so weird. Like, why would you go in here and do this? I understand if you're going to hurt someone and that's why you're there, but, you know, just walking around, opening doors, not caring whether security might rock up. Like, you don't care whether you trip an alarm. This video has been edited too. There's more to it that has not been put out in the public domain, which is very frustrating. Anyway, I wanted to show it to you for people who've never seen the video. It's very freaky. Gayla said they know they are on CCTV. Kelly said the Nancy Guthrie case is really good advertising for cameras and a backup system. They probably sold 1 million of them in the last week. There's a closer up video. Yeah, I think it starts. Where is it? Yeah, there's another one, and then there's the other one with the car park. There's one from the car park as well. Yeah, it's almost like it's just not good enough quality to see it. That's a pretty good shot too. It's really a shame. This one where they look right at the camera, if this was maybe better quality, we might have got a better look at the person. But yeah, maybe one day. Maybe one day. It was a full moon on February 2nd. That's interesting. Colleen said, yeah, I can't believe Miss Guthrie didn't at least have a basic security system. You would think having a famous daughter, you would have more of a permanent type CCTV. Linux says, was she wearing a real police outfit? I think from my knowledge from back then, they interviewed some police and they said the uniform is not correct. Like, it's not the right type of uniform. Something about the jacket, the pants, and the helmet that are not correct. So it's almost like a someone trying to look official and wearing the right thing, but apparently it is not. It is not the right outfit. All right, hold on. Yeah, no update for that one. Nothing. There's just been nothing in years. Literally years. There's been no updates. No one's been arrested. Very few sort of progressions. It's really sad. Really, really sad. Yeah, I'll show you this quick little update while I get you a drink. This is after 10 years of her being gone.
You know, we're just going to keep pushing and talking about it.
Nearly a decade ago, Missy Bevers' life was taken in a crime that stunned all of North Texas. The person likely responsible was caught on video, but has never been caught. That hasn't stopped the community, though, from pushing for answers. As our Aaron Jones shares with us tonight ahead of what would have been her 55th birthday, the pursuit of justice continues.
Missy Bevers was a devoted wife, mother of 3, and passionate fitness instructor.
She was a good person. She was humble. She was dedicated to teaching people fitness and healthy eating habits to make a difference.
Renee Rodden met Missy in 2015 when they were both working for a clothing company.
She was one of the people that had the inventory, and so I went to her house every week for an entire year.
The friendship grew quickly, but a year later, the unthinkable occurred. Surveillance video captured Missy preparing to host an early morning boot camp class at Creekside Church of Christ in Midlothian when someone dressed in tactical gear entered the building.
Covered from head to toe. She's not aware, that they're there. She's met with them, and within minutes, she's brutally murdered.
The circumstances surrounding Missy's death have remained a mystery. This Saturday, she would have turned 55, and to honor her life, a community tip drive was held at Kimmel Park.
What it signifies that this is what is needed to solve this case, and please turn a tip in.
Organizers have put out these signs in the neighborhood and say this event is about keeping Missy's story alive and putting pressure on the case.
It's very frustrating to know that it hasn't been solved.
Midlothian police say new leads are continuing to come in, both locally and from out of town. They say they look promising, but can't go into further detail.
The local cops have been saying it looks promising for like over 10 years. Over 10 years, they've never arrested anyone. They've never really held anyone. It's, I don't want to say it's like they don't care, but it's almost like they just went, oh, that was ages ago. We've got other crimes to deal with. We're just going to move on. It's almost like how it seems, because there's no updates, there's no anniversary type press conference. I was surprised when it was 10 years that she went missing. The local PD did not do a 10 years, re-release, new information, nothing, no reward, just like they don't really care. Truth be told, said she was beloved in her community, hosted exercise classes, super fit. She had to put up a massive fight. If she could have got to her arm, she had a gun in the car. She was killed by multiple. I think what we have figured out is that she was killed by multiple things. They reported it as blunt force trauma, but there was also a bit of information that came out through the FBI that said that there was only one murder in that town in that year, and it was her murder, and it said death by gunshot, like death by gun. So it sounds like maybe she was beaten and shot. So whoever this person is in the police uniform gave her a good hiding and then shot and killed her. But someone out there, that's the creepy thing, right? This video, this person is out there walking around in your community in America somewhere, hanging out, and they did this violent crime, ultra violent, really, really sadistic, and they're just wandering around, living their best life in a town somewhere in America. That is scary. The fact that they could be your neighbor, you could work with them, they could be your daughter's friend, they could be your son's new girlfriend. Who knows? Psychos everywhere. It seems like it. Gail said didn't want to advertise their incompetence. They are pretty incompetent. The fact that they don't even have anyone after 10 years is pretty BS. Linux says, remind me of some psychos who have faked being a cop to kidnap women. Like the guy in the UK who abducted that girl. He was a cop, wasn't pretending. but he used his aura and sort of the authority of being a cop to abduct women. Danny says, I'll finish up here and go watch the beginning. Hey, Danny, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, so just like Nancy Guthrie's, there have been other cases where we have video of someone like Missy Bevers, and I hope it doesn't happen in this one, but just because we have video doesn't mean they're going to find them. I mean, they've never found Missy Bevers' murderer. Who knows if we're ever going to find this person on the doorbell camera for this lady. I don't know. I hope it doesn't become a cold case. I hope it's not 10 years later and we're all talking about the spooky, Nest camera. I hope that's not what's going to happen. But you never know. Some cases that look like they have a lot of evidence end up going cold. Right now, I wouldn't say it is a cold case, but it's not exactly screaming hot either. It's not exactly boiling. It seems like they're just plodding along week to week. It's, if you ask me, and I know the sheriff would deny this, but to me, it's almost like they are proceeding as if Nancy Guthrie is dead. So they have all the time in the world to try and track down who did it. Because I feel like it would be way more urgent if they knew she was alive or had a feeling she was alive. I feel like they would be so much more pressurized and getting stuff done and 24 hours a day. But it seems to have really simmered down. It's not as crazy busy as it was about 2 weeks ago. Let's go here. Oh, yeah, that glove. The couple that found the glove, we talked about that last night. I don't know. Maybe it'll be something. But I heard today the DNA that they found inside the house is a multiple contributor sample. And they're saying that it is a difficult sample because of how it is composed. They were saying like, oh, it might take weeks, months, or even years to try and separate the sample to something they could use to try and track down who left the DNA inside the home. That's not hopeful. That doesn't give me good vibes or anything. That almost tells me it doesn't make me feel good. All right, let's see what else do we have on our list for tonight. Yeah, we could do a little bit about maybe we could do a little bit about this one. I don't know if you guys want me to follow the Corey Richens thing every day. I don't know if people are interested in me doing that. Or there's a lot of people doing it anyway. I don't know if it's worth it. Let's go. No, we only want like a 2-minute catch-up video, not like a 5-hour video. Okay, here we go.
We begin with this tonight. Monday marks the beginning of the Corey Richens jury trial. The Camas woman accused of killing her husband, then writing a children's book about coping with grief after her husband's death. Our Jake White is live in Park City tonight to give us a breakdown of what to expect as this trial begins this week and what Richens will be facing in court. Jake?
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. Well, that much anticipated trial begins right behind me here tomorrow, where Richens faces a plethora of charges, such as aggravated murder, 3 counts of possession with intent to distribute, aggravated attempted aggravated murder, 2 counts of mortgage fraud, 2 counts of insurance fraud, and 3 counts of forgery. Now, this all began back in March of 2022 when Corey Richens' husband, Eric, died at their home in Utah. Police say she initially told them she made Eric a mixed drink to celebrate selling a home and later found him unresponsive. His death was first believed to be natural, but a medical examiner later determined that Eric Richens died of a fentanyl overdose, with the amount found in his system to be 5 times the lethal dose. About a year later, she self-published a children's book titled Are You With Me? About coping with grief of a loved one.
Maybe if she gets convicted, she can read her own book about dealing with grief, because she might have a lot of that if she's sentenced to to death penalty. Sorry, I couldn't get through that without laughing. Yeah, maybe she can read her own book. She is a nasty piece of work. Seeing her on the table today, she looked like it was all a joke. She was like sitting there wide-eyed. It almost looks psychotic. Seeing her behind the table, it was brutal. Hold on, I'll see if I've got it. Oh, I did earlier. I'm sure you all saw the court footage from today. Where is it? Yeah.
To tell the boys.
I'm not going to play it all. I just want to go to a bit where we can see her. That's the witness. Did we get to see her at all? By the way, that video was very insightful. Very insightful today. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's a still grab of her. She just seemed really like, you're wasting all my time. Why am I here? I've got better things to do than sit at the bar table and defend myself. I don't know. She puts off this aura or vibe of, I shouldn't be here. You're bothering me, and you're derailing my life and things like. It's just she puts off this really big aura about, I shouldn't be here. This is all a mistake. It's really, yeah. I know you're like, Ping, how do you get that when she hasn't spoken? But you sort of just do. You just sort of do. Kelly J said the body cam is so frustrating and heartbreaking. I think some of the like details they gave out, like when they found him in the bed, and like you saw them trying to paint it today as an accidental overdose. They're like, oh well, we found a pill thing behind it, beside the bed, and it was empty or whatever. They're trying really hard to throw as much doubt as they can that this was something deliberate. They're trying very, very hard to poke holes in the whole, she did this on purpose. So we're going to have to, we'll have to see. By the way, her lawyer is very annoying. Every time I listen to her, she's so over the top, fake nice, and it drives me nuts. I was listening to the trial today and I was just like, please act normal. This is not your normal, like tone and the way you talk to people. She's just so over the top, fake nice. Laura said, my little Corey has been confused all day because the TV keeps saying Corey. That's pretty funny. Betsy said she just looks inconvenienced. She does a little bit, right? Almost like she has another book to write. Truth be told, said the prosecutor's opening statement was outstanding. He laid it out so well. And the way he paused to let the truth sink in and the mic drop at the end. Yeah, he did a really good job. I thought, by the way, the judge, that guy has the deepest voice I think I've ever heard out of a man. I was listening to it, I was like, it sounds like some sort of AI. This guy has literally the most commanding, booming voice I think I've ever heard on earth. It was really, really impressive. Where is he? Let's see if we can hear it.
You can drag it around.
That just before he asked you about Eric seeing a divorce attorney. Do you remember when that was?
The dates and everything, it was in 2020.
So
It was before he did his will,
about 2 years before he passed, he saw a divorce attorney, right?
a year and a half.
And is it true that you or your husband are the person who set that meeting up with the divorce attorney?
Correct.
Which one of you?
Benson. All right.
Very specific. Courtroom for the remainder of the trial.
Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, any additional questions for Ms. Richens Benson?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome to step down.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's not as good on that video. The first one they did, I think it's the first. They cut it into two halves today. I think it was the first one. I mean, he's got the craziest voice. It's so yeah, very, very booming, very commandive. Yeah, yes. Hold on. Guys, 1 second. All right, there we go. Sean says, like Herman Munster playing a judge in My Cousin Vinny. Don't do that again. Don't do what again? Don't do what again? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if we can find another one where he talks a lot. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to. Maybe here.
No problem. Tracy, do we need a break? No problem. Yeah, take a moment. Yep. If you want to have a seat, that's fine. Thank you, sir. Thanks for asking. 1 second, counsel.
It's not very loud, but there you go. There he is. Oh, there she is again.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for your patience.
Mr. Benson, you're still under oath. Ms. Lewis, please proceed.
Yeah, there you go. There's the voice. It's booming. That guy, he definitely has command of his courtroom for sure. Yeah, I found her defense attorney just very sickly sweet, and I don't know. I've got to guess it's fake, but yeah, it comes across over the top and almost like fake. It almost comes across as insulting. Yeah, there we go. The judge seems likable. Yeah, he seems alright. He's doing a good job keeping the trial on track. He's done pretty good so far with any objections that have come up. Sided with the prosecution quite a few times already, with the defense trying to come out of scope. So the defense at one point was pushing questions far outside of what they had agreed upon, and I think it was something to do with the trust account. And she kept trying to ask all these questions that were unrelated. I'm not sure why, but she kept pushing on this one subject, and the judge was just like, same objection, same objection, same objection. Like she kept trying to reword it, and it's almost like she painted herself into a corner with the question. So you can't reword it because of the way that she phrased it to start with. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, interesting court case. I've been waiting a long time for Corey Richens to go on trial. You know, what she is alleged to have done to her husband is every husband's worst nightmare. It really is. The fact that this person that you're supposed to love and, you know, is supposed to take care of you and you trust each other, she completely broke that marital trust. And then you hear it like the quotes from the boyfriend earlier in the trial today. They put up some SMS of Corey talking to her boyfriend, and it's heartbreaking to listen to. The fact she's all like, "Oh, I'd love to cuddle and hug with you all day long." It's gross. It really is. It's heartbreaking that he had to live through living with her. There we go. Yeah, I've been waiting for it too because I would like to see her brought down a peg to go after your husband is allegedly killed, to go off and write this book about how you dealt with the grief is such a such a slap to the face to all of his family, to be like, oh, I felt a lot of grief about killing him. It's really she's a messed up person if convicted. You weren't aware of the trial? It'll be on tomorrow. Colleen said, shocked there is only one boyfriend. She is so needy for attention. Yeah. She is very attention seeking. But the fact that she didn't express these feelings to her husband, why not try and work it out with your husband before you start planning to kill him and going off to screw another guy? They show a receipt. I don't know if it's in this video or a different one or the first one. I think it might be the first part of the day. They were showing this receipt about how she'd booked a 5-star hotel for her and her boyfriend. And I was like, don't you think your husband would have loved to go to a 5-star hotel with you? Like, really? Like, if you ever know what it's like to not go on holiday very often and to be stuck at home and things like that, it'd be lovely to go on holidays. And she's all like, oh, I'm going to go book this expensive hotel so I can see my boyfriend. I'm sort of glad he wasn't alive to see all of the evidence in a way, because it would have, I know being murdered probably hurts a lot, especially being OD'd with the F word, but some of this stuff is must cut like a knife. It's awful. Hold on. I wanted to see if we could see that bit from earlier today. Nope, that's the other one. Is it this one? It might be. Let me see if I can find that receipt very quickly. I think it might have been in opening statements. It might be right here. Yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of the stuff she sent to the boyfriend. If I was divorced right now and asked you to marry me tomorrow, would you? And he says, Josh, gross man. He is a little gross man. And he said, I just want to lay on the couch and cuddle you, watch a murder documentary and snuggle. What guy talks like that to a girl you're trying to have sex with? Or, you know, what kind of language is this? I want to sit on a couch and cuddle you. It's like he's a bit of a cuck. He's a bit of a cuck, this guy. He's a bit of a cuck. Yeah, here, let me find. There was a thing about there. It's right there. There's another one there. She says, Corey says, I have a crazy dream. You quit your job, I divorce and come up with millions and millions. We buy Midway and live in the guest house and rent out the huge house as a big event center, $15,000 a day like they charge down the road, maybe $12,000 to stay competitive. And we just run the event center as our daily job and hang out every day, raise some kids, have a little farm. Deal? Good work. Good work. I don't know if anyone wants to take that deal. And then she says, it was Valentine's Day and Eric and I were both working from home that day and I ordered lunch from Mirror Lake Diner. He never broke out in hives or used an EpiPen. I was effing with him. Bailey was there too. He said the sandwich hurt his stomach, so he was going to nap. No hives or EpiPen. They're talking about like did he have an allergic reaction to something he ate instead of ODing. Let's see. No, that's the diary entry. There you go. There's the booking. There's the booking table for this 5 nights accommodation for two adults occupying one room. Preferred club, Marina swim out suite, and it's a king all inclusive. She was gonna check in on the 29th of April 2022. Checkout date 5 days later, the 4th of May 2022. It includes early booking special plus $200 resort coupons. Oh my God, resort coupons. Oh my God. We all have to get some of those. And then, yeah, you can see here, Curry and then RG. She thought she was being really clever by only using his initials. Like, what if the husband had found it and he's like, oh, what hotel did you go with and stay for 5 days? With a guy named RG. Just gross. It really is. 5-star resort. Secret St. Martin Resort and Spa. $4,211. It's like $1,000 a night, or like $900 a night. Holy crap. That's expensive. That's you don't hey, you never take your you never ever, you don't take your new girlfriend or boyfriend to the 5-star. You have to start slow, otherwise you have nothing to aim for. Need voices, Ping? Need voices? Need voices. Okay. Chipmunk said, does she really think she'd stay with him? I can tell he's annoyed by her. He doesn't want to sit and cuddle on the couch and watch a true crime documentary. Colleen said, she is the type of woman that men should be scared as hell of. Yep, definitely. All right. Kim said she knew she was going to off him. It sounds like it. Montana said his death was senseless, broke their hearts, was in a pain pill he got from a friend. He didn't need to die. She could have pissed off and gone and lived her life with RG all she wants. It's called divorce. You could have got a divorce. You could have separated. You could have done whatever. It didn't need to end like this. Colleen says, my wedding suite didn't cost that much. Let's have a look. Where is it? What's it called? St. Martin. St. Martin. Secret St. Martin. Okay. I found it. Here we go. It looks like it's a Hyatt. It looks like Hyatt owns it now. Or at least one of their booking pages has that. It's not loading. They're having far too many people try book the accommodation. Let's have a look. It looks pretty nice. Like they have like a swim up beach, and yeah, I'll put a photo. I can't actually load the website. Oh yes, we can. Here we go. So there we go. They got accommodation, spa, drinks and dining. Look at this. It's a great place to take your to take your mistress or your gigolo. It's great. You can go here all the time. Pretty place, but $5,000 for like 5 nights. It's not cheap. Danny said, yeah, and raise some kids. Hey, do you want to come along with me? You know, do you want to raise some children who are not yours? come with me. Chipmunk said so she created the problem and blamed it on someone else. Yes. Linux says you can watch a murder doco in the spa. You probably could, although you may not get out of the spa. You'll have to deal with this woman. Dun dun dun. This is what you have to wake up to every morning, staring back at you. This is what with that exact look. When you wake up in the morning, you're like, "Oh, good morning, darling," and then you like open your eyes, and this is what you see. She staring back at you, wanting to cuddle and watch true crime documentaries. There you go. I don't know if I want that. I think I'll pass. I think I will not go past go and collect $200. I think that's a bad idea. So yeah, Corey Richens' trial is on right now. Can you see how riveted she looks in the trial? Here you go. Look how riveted she looks. She looks very engrossed by the court action. She looks like she's you know, definitely paying attention. Montana says cold-hearted. It's cold-hearted to do what she did if convicted, alleged. If she really, put that fentanyl and OD'd him, it's how could you do that to someone that trusted you? Really, it's like we talk about breaking trust with people. That's like killing someone in that way is the ultimate betrayal. There is no other. It's you're going against everything you're taught about loving people and relationships and things like that. Truth be told, said husband had a prenup and she was already caught with her forging the husband's signature on loans. She thought herself a mastermind. I don't think she's a mastermind because she's sitting in a courtroom. Sean said taking names. Chipmunk said this guy wouldn't stay with her. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Are they still a couple? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. They describe Josh Grossman as her boyfriend / paramour. Okay. I don't know if they're still together or not. I don't know. They're saying that apparently he is now homeless and he is living on the street, apparently. Let's see. Yeah, apparently he is a homeless person now. Used to be a handyman. I like the why they're using the word paramour is pretty funny. Yeah, apparently he is no longer gainfully employed. Here's his photo. There he is. There you go. He definitely looks like someone you should cheat on your husband with. This guy, no. I say no. Yeah, divorce. Get a divorce, people. Montana said, who is giving him a loan of that amount when he does not show up in person to sign? Yeah, exactly. Truth be told said, hopefully he will flip on her and go to Secrets Island with someone new. Hopefully someone who doesn't want to cuddle and watch true crime documentaries. I can think of better things to do at a $1,000 night hotel, especially with your paramour. Kim says, I guess he quit his job for her. He did. He took part in the plan. He's now quit his job and living on the street. Colleen said, if she walks, there is no sanity left in the world. Let's hope not. I don't think the jury is that dumb. The husband looked better? Yeah, that guy looks like the Timu version of her husband. That's what it is. I think he looks like the Timu version of him. Let's see. Let me get a nice picture of him. Yeah, there you go. She has a type, right? She has a type. There you go. So yeah, the other guy just looks like a a drunk homeless version of her husband. Chipmunk said, what? What did Kim say? Yeah. Linux said Grossman could write a book. She ate me and spat me out. Not at Secrets. She didn't. I think that might have been the plan, but it didn't end up happening. Colleen said, poor Eric, he got the shaft. He got the something. Montana said, these people are so damn immoral. I guess that's her type. I think so. Kim said she told him to quit his job. She'd take care of him. I don't think you can take care of anyone when you're sitting in a murder trial. I don't think you can, I don't think you're going to be doing anything. I think you have to go to court every day. And I don't think you get paid for it. It's not a job. Hold on. Okay. So I'm trying to see. Mrs. Ping is messaging me. Yeah, so we'll have to see what they're going to do tomorrow. It looks like they are running through their witness list right now, and they're trying to get through that at the moment. There you go. She's just like so not attractive, even without the crime. She's a little plain Jane. I don't think she's like as spectacular as she likes to think she is. She's a little like, take it or leave it. Let's see. Yeah, it was that place, the one I showed you. Secret St. Martin. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's why they call it Secrets. That's where everyone takes their paramour to go on holiday. Maybe that's why it costs $1,000 a night, is because that's where everyone takes their mistresses and boyfriends, because they keep the secret for you. When you go there, they're like, no names, no names. There's no names here. We'll never tell on you. Gail said St. Martin as in the island. Yeah. Chipmunk said her prison book, Going to Jail for for B word. The toilet is cold and has a constant drip, always out of TP and can't poop in peace. My roommate hates me and made me kiss the sink. I don't know if the roommate made her kiss the sink. Maybe kiss something else. Texas said, "Hey Laura, hey Texas, how are you? Good to see you." So yeah, Corey Richens. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow, and how much more fun we can make of her tomorrow. I'm sure we can come up with a million things. You know, this is one of the things at trial. Here, I'll show you. A lot of the time, they're cuffed. Look. One of the things I find it interesting that they were allowed to take a photo of her with the shackles on. When we were at the Aaron Patterson trial, we were not allowed to take any photos of Aaron with the handcuffs. All the photos had to be above the waist to not show people that she was in custody. They thought that might corrupt the jury or something. They're like, oh, that might give them a bad impression of Aaron. So yeah, we had to be above the waist, and I'm surprised they can do that here with Corey. So I think the other photos they don't have. Yeah, see in their trial photos, they're all above. They're all see how they're like halfway up her chest. I reckon they now have a court order that says that it has to be above the belly shackle. So they're probably not allowed to do it. The jury can't see it. No zappy belt like Laurie. That's so funny. I wish they would have set it off. Bad Laurie, zap. That would have been fun as hell. Gail said they aren't supposed to show that. They are supposed to look innocent. That's what I mean. I'm surprised to see a photo with the shackles. Normally, you're not supposed to have it. It's supposed to, yeah. She looks way worse in this photo. In the other photo, she looks completely different. There you go. Look how different she looks. A lot more makeup, maybe. Who's messaging me? Sure. All right. Yeah, so I don't know what is on the slate for tomorrow for this particular trial, but probably more witnesses and expert evidence will get there at some point. Wait, what just happened? Anna Kapner's teenage stepbrother has been charged by federal authorities for her heinous killing aboard a Carnival cruise ship. You guys hear this? Just got reported. They have charged the stepbrother federal authorities have charged him with killing Anna Kapner. That just came across on my screen. Breaking news. There you go. Finally. Felt like months and months had gone past waiting for a resolution. Now they're saying the 16-year-old had been considered the main suspect in the death of the Florida cheerleader. Anna was found stuffed under a bed on November 7 in the cabin on her Carnival Horizon cruise as it was returning from Florida from Mexico. Law enforcement sources have said Anna died of asphyxiation caused by a bar hold, suggesting an arm was pressed around her neck. That is very interesting news. I'm just trying to see if anyone else has the story right now. I think no one else has it right now. There you go. You guys are first to hear. Anna Kapner's stepbrother charged with the murder. There you go. So big news. There will probably be a press conference tomorrow, I'm guessing. It came out quite late in the day. Let's see. Yeah, it came out a couple of hours ago. Anna Kapner's family says stepbrother charged with murder. So he has been charged with that crime. Thank God. Yeah, I'm going to try to get to an update for you.
And that breaking news now at 11 involving the death of a Titusville teen. Anna Kapner was found dead while on a cruise last November.
A court filing in a separate case says that her stepbrother is the main suspect and that he is now facing not one, but 2 charges. West News' Jesse Began joins us live in studio to break down this new information. Jesse.
Yes, too, Michelle. We have learned from these documents that last Friday, an emergency motion was filed by the biological father of the teen who's been named a suspect in Kapner's death. In it, he is asking for sole custody of Anna's other step-sibling, who's been living with Anna's dad and his biological mother since the death. The new filing also states Anna's stepbrother has been charged with homicide. The court filing alludes to the 2 charges, saying in part, quote, according to social media from the Kapner family, on February 3rd of 2026, the petitioner/father's son was charged by the United States Attorney in the Southern District of Florida for the redacted and homicide of Anna Kapner. It goes on to say, quote, immediately after the cruise, the respondent/mother and Chris Kapner expelled the minor from their household, and neither has seen the minor since then. Adding, social media from the Kapner family has indicated that they want the nails in the coffin of the minor and that both the Kapner family and the respondent want him buried. On February 6th, cameras were there as the stepbrother of Anna Kapner walked out of federal court in Miami. You can see it there. We were not allowed into the courtroom and were not told exactly why he was there. The criminal docket for the magistrate judge had a sealed case on the agenda, and the case number was also sealed. A court filing in that separate custody case mentioned earlier says she was found asphyxiated under a bed in a room she was sharing with her stepbrother. Anna's stepbrother has not been publicly named a suspect, and her manner of death has not been publicly shared by the FBI.
There we go. I mean, we heard about his obsession with Anna to the point where she had mentioned to her ex-boyfriend that he had been doing creepy things to her, around her, being creepy in general. I would not be surprised if this ends up being a, I wouldn't be surprised if it was fixation related, something like that. Kim said neither Anna's dad or stepmother should have their kids, neither of them. Betsy said, I still don't understand who belongs to who. SA, yeah, I would not be surprised if there was an element of it and we find out at trial. It makes a lot of sense. Why else would you kill her? And I feel like it's because you wanted to do that with stuff with her, and she's like, no, you're my brother, go away. And he just took it. I feel like that's probably what we'll end up finding out. Sean, what are you sending me? Oh, really? Wait, what? Oh, it's a different one. Okay. I'm trying to have a look. This is in the Ozarks. So it was an officer-involved shooting. Let me have a look. Three hours ago on KMBC. All right, I'll take you there.
We are following breaking news from Southwest Missouri, where state troopers have issued a blue alert out of Highlandville, Missouri. That's between Springfield and Branson. State troopers say they want the driver of a pickup involved in a deadly shooting with a Christian County Sheriff's deputy. That pickup, a white 2001 Chevy Silverado, Missouri tags right there, 9MGX36. Obviously, if you see it, call 911.
There you go, blue alert. I'm not sure I've heard of too many blue alerts, but they're saying Missouri State Highway Patrol has issued a blue alert out of Highlandville in connection with the fatal shooting of a deputy in Christian County. Authorities are searching near Reed Spring in Stone County for Richard Dean Bird, 45. Yes. And they're saying he is accused of shooting and killing the deputy. The suspect's truck has been found abandoned nearby. A later update said the vehicle was seen in the area of the shooting just before 4 p.m. Monday and was reportedly traveling south on US 160. The truck is described as a white 2001 Chevy with extended cab, a silver brush guard, and rusted roof, black body trim, tinted rear windows, and 3-ball hitch. 3-ball hitch. It almost sounds like a medical condition. They're like, hey, what's wrong with him? And they're like, he's got the 3-ball hitch. It sounds like something you can get. Yeah, so they're searching for this guy. Let me see if I can find a photo. Shot and killed a deputy. What's his name? I just read it out. Richard Dean Bird with the 3-ball hitch. Oh, God, this... Fine. All right. Let me see if I can find... so they got him in custody. At least that's what it's looking like. Because it says here Stone County Sheriff, and he's got a booking number. No, that was a couple of weeks ago. I can't go to the website for some reason, but it's showing him as in custody. I can see it on their jail roster. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try to see if I can find a photo of him. Here we go. Found him. So it looks like he's been in jail several times, not just once. And now he's shot and killed a deputy. So he's graduated. He's graduated to being a murderer. Ashley B has breaking news. See you, Texas. All right, let me have a look. All right, I'm going to just check Twitter and see what they're saying about it. Richard Dean Bird. I see the patrol alert for him. And I'm just trying to get to... There's his warrant, or not warrant, but... it's not coming up for you guys. There we go. There's the blue alert for him. Richard Dean Bird. All right, let's see what else we can find. I can't see anything else, just that they're looking for him. Yeah, there you go. Masked Prowler? Okay. All right, I don't have anything else on him. I'm just trying to see what else you guys have to say. Who is Ashley B? Oh, Ashley Banfield? Ashley Banfield? Let me see. What is she saying? Does she even have Twitter? There we go. Oh, not TikTok. I'll go to her Twitter. I'll see what she's talking about. What has she got to say? I don't see anything on her Twitter. It says here nothing. Her last update was yesterday. Yeah, I don't see anything new about Ashley Banfield. Marlene said, why do we have jails and prisons? They just go in and learn more tricks. That's the whole thing. It's school for criminals. Betsy said, YouTube, that's all I've got. Yeah, me too. Sean said, I think it just happened. That's why. Well, what are they saying? Website will be updated as more information becomes available. And hair, bold. Yeah, there you go, bold. Armed, known to be armed with a firearm. Clothing, unknown clothing. Identifying features, possibly has a beard. He has a beard, unknown clothing, and might be armed with a firearm and is bald. There you go. You know everything you need to know about Richard Dean Bird, who is suspected of killing a deputy, which is pretty horrific. Law enforcement officer killed or seriously injured in the line of duty, and they are now trying to find him. So we'll have to see if they can track him down overnight. All right, I think we're late. It's like 10 past. Okay. All right. You're listening on the police scanner? Okay. All right. Let me just double check my emails here before we go. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. Hey, I love you all very much. Today was a bit of a up and down show today, but it was a lot of fun to cover a ton of topics. Yes, we talked about Nancy earlier tonight. I love you all. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and hit that thumbs up. We almost made 150 thumbs up the other night. I'd like to see it happen again. So please do that for me. And I'll be back tomorrow night. I'll come and hang out again tomorrow night for more updates with you, all right? Keep an eye on that Anna Kapner thing. That update is coming from a court paperwork. So the father mentioned in the court paperwork in a custody dispute that stepson has now been charged with a federal crime, including murder. So keep an eye on that. There's probably going to be a bunch more information about that tomorrow. I'm guessing now the media knows about it. Everything's going to go a bit mental. So yeah, keep an eye out for it tomorrow. All right. Good night. I love you all. Bye.